Basement Politics with Freddie Vasquez. Tonight's Basement Politics Unfiltered is the Yes Men. And I'm experiencing a bit of a technical difficulty, so bear with me. Good evening. Freddie Vasquez here with Basement Politics Unfiltered. Season 3 special edition episode. And just let me know if there's any issues. I was trying to come on earlier, but I was having some technical difficulties because I wanted to bring you some videos. Few video clips that I have here that I want to show. And I don't know if I overloaded the system. But anyway, good evening. Happy, is today Tuesday? Yeah, happy Tuesday. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered, episode season 3 special. I want to start out by showing you this video here from yesterday's meeting. And this is the vote.
Council President Collins Bellamy.
Yes.
Councilmember Williams.
No.
Councilmember Pineda Isaac. Councilmember Diaz.
Yes.
Councilmember Rulo.
Yes.
Councilmember Green.
Yes.
Councilmember Moranti.
Yes.
Watch this.
Adopted 7-0. The next item.
It's not
Madam
true.
President, is to designate.
It was not adopted
sorry.
7-0. It's
Adopted
5-2.
Sorry.
Adopted 5-2. My apologies. The next item, Madam President.
Check out
designate
Shanae Williams' face.
Papers of city members.
Let's see that again.
My apologies.
Let's see
It's
Shanae Williams'
5-2.
face.
Adopted 7-0. The next item.
It's not
Madam
true.
President, is to designate.
It was not adopted
sorry.
7-0. It's
Adopted
5-2.
Sorry.
So apparently, the city clerk there, Vinny Spano, said it was adopted 7-0, and Shanae Williams quickly, corrected him, making a face there, saying, "Not true, not true. It's actually 5-2. I didn't vote yes, and neither did Corazon Pineda." Or maybe they're just so used to getting 7-0 votes that it was Freudian slip, however you say that. Many of the votes that have occurred recently in recent years here in the city have received a 7-0 vote. In fact, Mayor Spano is probably known as one of the few, if not the only mayor that's gotten so many 7-0 votes as a mayor for the past 3 terms. So there you have it. That was the vote, 5-2. But now let's get into the interesting stuff. Yesterday, I couldn't bring you this video because the audio was messed up. But apparently, the Yonkers City Council has a new page up. If you don't know, go on there, like it. I know some people were, upset about the page being deleted. They said that there was videos there that are no longer going to be available to the public, which should be archived and available to the public. And it may have been recorded. I know I've downloaded some of the videos, but they do have a new page up. So go out there, go like it. I liked it. They shared the council meeting from yesterday, so the audio was a lot better. So I went into clips of it, and I wanted to show you, who voted yes, who voted no, and the reasons why. And I wanted to talk a bit about that. I wanted to bring you first, Mike Breen, and I'll get to Shanae Williams. That was great. But I want to bring you quickly Mike Breen, who voted yes. And now remember, Mike Breen is a Republican. Okay. Tasha Diaz is a Democrat. And Breen, and here, listen to what he says here.
We voted unanimously for affordable housing several years ago, and it came up at 10% when the city council compromised. City council then wanted 20%, and we couldn't, it was not acceptable. Councilwoman Diaz wasn't supporting because she had her own plan, which I think was fix what you got, and let's put the money there. If we could compromise, we're going to come up with affordable housing. But when you say we're eliminating affordable housing, 20% of nothing built is zero. 12, 13, 14, 15% of something built will produce some numbers. We've produced 400 units since the original affordable housing was passed. So to say that she's not supporting affordable housing is not the truth. She's supporting affordable housing the way she sees it and the way other people see it.
Wow.
So I wish her luck. Councilwoman Diaz, you became majority leader the way the former majority leader became majority leader, with Anthony, myself, and John Rubo supporting. And I tip my hat to Anthony, who said he wanted a woman of color and he was going to wait and work with you. And it didn't work out. And I'm not going to go into why it didn't work out. But we've come up with a majority leader because today we need a majority leader. We don't need to carry on for days and days while the wheel goes around. We try to pick a majority leader. So, Councilwoman Diaz, I welcome you. I wish you the best of luck.
So there you have it. What a gracious Republican there. And I would love to get the opinions or comments from Republicans here in Yonkers. Mike Breen apparently had no issues voting for Councilwoman Diaz, a Democrat, for the 3rd District. Why? What was the reason that he was so willing to, vote Councilwoman Diaz in? And if it was about a woman of color, which he mentioned, and I do want to say this, it's great that there is women of color, women in general, but we should always vote on people because of their qualifications, their track record, and the things that matter to the position, right? And yes, let's try and find more diversity, but qualified individuals, okay? So if that was about finding a woman of color also, honestly, I mean, if I had to pick out of those that were there, I would have voted for Shanae Williams. That's just, I mean, given the choices that you have, that would have been my choice. I think that she would have served a better majority leader than Tasha Diaz. But why was it that Breen was so willing to go along with it? A Republican, he threatened, or she threatened, to F up John Rubo, according to Shanae Williams. Rubo, a former Republican, and still yet he went along with it. Was it because he was given minority leader position? This is his last term. He's done. He's got nothing to really lose here. He's not looking for re-election. He can't. So for him, it's, hey, I get the minority leader position and I make a few more bucks before I'm out of here, right? Could that have been his incentive to go ahead and go along with the plan? Possibly. Now, I want to show you Anthony Morantes, who I was very surprised. Anthony Morantes is another Republican. I was very surprised.
I just wanted to comment on and respond to my colleagues, who I greatly respect, on this council. We've been working together very well for 4 years and look forward to another 4 years. And I'll be on the council for 4 more years. And so we'll Corazon Pineda Isaac. However, I just wanted to make something public that no one knows. But 4 weeks ago, approximately 4 weeks ago, Councilman Rubo came and requested my support as majority leader on the council. With all due respect to my good friend for many years, albeit he switched parties on us, we still are good friends, and I do respect his opinion. I believe he's a good leader. I did say to him, though, I can't do it at this time, John, because I wanted to reach out to all of the women on the council. Although I did not initially reach out to you, Council President, I wanted to stay within the 3 women who I worked with over the last, 2 years, since Councilwoman Diaz has been on for 2. And I went to each of the council members and I said to them, individually that if the three of them could come together as one, I will gladly be the fourth to make one of you the majority leader.
Mhm.
That being said, there were a couple of meetings, and unfortunately, my colleagues could not come from the three to support one. At that point, I then threw my support back to Councilman Rubo. As I'm going to be very careful with the comments, Councilman Rubo is a Democrat. He may not be in line with all the proposals that were done by my council Democrats, other council Democrats. I do want to say that he is a leader and he works with people. He's very good in communicating. He works to the last hour. He works every minute of the day. And at this point, I'm sorry to say that, that I don't want to think that just because we have 4 women of color on the council, that did not make that the true choice of the correct leader. However, my colleague has acquiesced that position because he did get my support and that of Councilman Breen, but we still could not come to 4. After further deliberations and discussions with Councilman Breen and everyone else, I felt that I'm going to support Councilwoman Diaz. I have had the opportunity to speak to her on numerous occasions, and I think that she will be a good majority leader, and that as my colleagues said, even though they may not be supporting these resolutions, we're going to work together.
Yeah, we're going to work together. That's right, Moranti. You got no choice, right? They told you, or I should say they showed you what they would do to you if you didn't play the game, if you didn't walk the line, stay in line, right? They ran Tim Hodges against you to let you know exactly what happens if you go against the system, if you go against the status quo. Moranti has been known to vote independently at times, specifically with the budget. And this past election, Tim Hodges ran against Moranti. Tim Hodges worked extremely hard, although some say he didn't get the full support of the machine, because I believe that they did that simply to just kind of teach Moranti a lesson and tell him to get in line. If Tim wins, great, but at least we'll get the message across. He got the message. He's a Republican. 2 Republicans. Pretty much all the Republicans voted for Tasha Diaz to become majority leader. So once again, I ask the Republicans here in the city of Yonkers, how do you feel about that decision by your elected officials, your Republican elected officials? Moranti should know he is Rubo's accountant. Well, if that is true, then I'm sure they've had many meetings and discuss exactly what the plan is going to be and how they're going to move forward. This is all decided. They do speak about this together. From my sources and my information, they share similar campaign managers and strategists. Again, a name that continues to come up, Zahi Juris. He was John Rubo's campaign manager, as well as Tasha Diaz's campaign manager, or quite possibly his son, Frankie Juris, who is also a ward leader here in the city of Yonkers. So there you can see if they are utilizing the same strategists and utilizing an individual for the purpose of gaining financial resources so they can run their campaigns, they're going to go along with what the money man says. That's what most people do. You don't bite the hand that feeds you, right? So this is all a plot and all a plan, all a strategy that I'm sure was concocted over the summer, either in a pool or beach in Florida, quite possibly in a pool in Puerto Rico. and this was discussed, and this is what now we're seeing unfold right in front of our eyes. But nothing surprising here, right? At least for those who follow carefully and understand strategy. Now, let's get to the interesting stuff. I want to play Williams, Shanae Williams' reason for not
Yes. Oh, great.
voting
Thanks.
yes. Listen carefully to what she says. I, agree with Councilwoman Shanae Williams a lot on everything she's saying there. It's unfortunate that, yes, there are 4 women of color on the council now, and we are seeing cat fights. Yeah. Should I have said it a different way? Huh? Well, that's exactly what we're seeing here, folks. We're seeing the women going at it. This is January 4th, second day of the business week. So second day of business, technically, for the Yonkers City Council, and we are already seeing infighting. Is this a sign of things to come? Someone seems a bit upset that they did not become majority leader. Shanae Williams has been on the outskirts of the system for quite some time now, voting against the party and the system, specifically on the fire department issue. And they didn't like that. And so she recently ran for county clerk with some support against Tim Iadoni. And I think that they supported her simply to remove her from the council. If she wins, she's out of here. Great. We get in another puppet. Right? So she didn't win. Obviously, I didn't think that was going to go well. And according to Shanae Williams, that was her biggest failure in life, or her first time. Actually, it's her first time ever failing at anything in life. So now she knows what failure feels like. Well, I should say, I beg to differ. This first district is failing. Let's see what she has to say and the reason why she voted no to make Tasha Diaz majority leader.
Councilwoman Diaz is the most qualified. It's the most historic moment to have a Black woman as council president and to have 4 women of color in the majority on the city council. And that is something that I'm very proud of. I did want to speak to the rules that's before us today, because I will not be voting in favor of the rules. And I wanted the public and everyone to understand why that is. I personally do not think that Councilwoman Diaz is the most qualified person for the job. And you might be wondering why that is, right? So for me, the majority leader is responsible for attending leadership meetings with the mayor and minority leader. The leader has to call Democratic caucus meetings and effectively communicate to the caucus what was discussed at those leadership meetings, from budget matters to all legislative items being introduced. The leader has to make decisions on who the chief of staff will be for the entire caucus, who will be the communications person representing us, who will be the counsel to the council, and most of the staffing and legislation is brought about by the majority leader. The leader is responsible for payroll and signing off on paperwork for the council. The leader is supposed to have good relations with everyone so they can effectively get the votes necessary to pass good democratic legislative items that will benefit the entire city of Yonkers. Now, as we look to Councilwoman Diaz's full cache of why her tenure in the council, and why I believe she does not hold the merits to be majority leader, I think you will understand why I stand firm in my vote today. First, let me just say that she rarely introduces legislation to the council. In fact, she has introduced the least number of legislative items, and when she did introduce something, it was always in the form of a feel-good resolution and not a local law or a special ordinance. She has proven to communicate ineffectively in the past 2 years with her constituents, with her colleagues, and certainly with the community. She voted against getting more affordable housing units in the city of Yonkers. She called the cops on Yonkers residents because they were asking her if she supported the 20% affordable housing ordinance or not. She has threatened me on the council chamber floors when discussing why she would not vote for more affordable housing. She has called the commissioner the C word. She has threatened Councilman Rubo and Councilman Pineda Isaac by saying she will F them up on several occasions. She has cursed during public meetings in her district when communicating with residents. She has cursed out the Parks Commissioner. She has cursed out the Deputy Mayor. As chair of the Education Committee, Councilwoman Diaz did little to quell tensions between parents and the Yonkers Public Schools during this ongoing pandemic. These are not signs of what I would associate with the best person for the job of majority leader. I believe that majority leader must have a strong voice at the table. The leader must be able to bring people together and fully understand how government works and all of the intricacies of the legislative process. Due to all of these concerns, I would think Councilman Diaz is the least qualified of all the women and men to perform and represent the role of majority leader. One of my biggest concerns that I feel like I have to stress is that the majority leader negotiates with the mayor and minority leader. Councilwoman Diaz does not contribute to our conversations when discussing important legislation, such as the Affordable Housing Ordinance, or even the budget, which is the city council's main responsibility in getting that done. She doesn't ask questions, she doesn't make suggestions, she offered little to no comments, and this is visible in our public broadcast council meetings as well as our caucus meetings. The matter of communication is of great concern to me, and the councilwoman has shown to me that she does not have the skill of effectively communicating with me or with others on the council. Councilwoman Diaz have overcome a lot, and I am the first to say that I'm very proud that she was the underdog in her election, and she was able to prove so many people wrong and get herself elected. She has served her community well with all of the food distributions that she is committed to doing on a weekly basis. And that is something to be proud of as her colleague. However, she is a junior member on the council, and it shows. I believe that she has a lot to learn. I believe that she can one day be that majority leader that I would love to see, and I think that everyone would love to see. But today, as it stands, I do not believe that she is ready. I do not support her for this position, but my hope is that the lack of communication will improve and that she will step up and develop the necessary leadership skills to be successful in this role. I do wish her well, and I will work with her as best I can to get good democratic legislation passed for the residents of Yonkers. Because at the end of it all, I think it's fair to say that you all know me by now, and that is the most important thing that I care the most about, is just getting things done for the people. So with that, thank you for allowing me to speak. And
No. Thank you, Councilwoman Williams, for that and great speech and giving me some material and content to speak about right here on Basement Politics. Wow, that was a mouthful. Where do I begin? Well, first of all, I can tell by the tone that this is personal. And understandably so. Councilwoman Shanae Williams and Councilwoman Tasha Diaz have been known to battle it out right there in the chambers, the council chambers. The last time this happened was at the ordinance meeting.
I was raised in housing. I don't think you were.
Remember that?
I was raised in housing. I don't think you were. I went to Yonkers Public Schools. I don't think you did. We can go on all night with this, honey.
That's right. She went off on Councilwoman Shanae Williams that night, and Councilwoman Shanae Williams responded by saying she was not going to get into a back and forth. She didn't think it was professional and it was appropriate. And one of her biggest complaints and reasons for voting no was because of her temperament. She says, according to Shanae Williams, that Tasha Diaz threatened to F John Rubo up. She called one of the commissioners the C word and even cursed at constituents at a meeting. And that was visible in a video that I played for. And you can find that on the page. She used the B word and the C word. In fact, and has been known to get aggressive with constituents, with people who are merely asking questions specifically about the housing. She is a junior member, the least qualified. And one of the other things that she said was that she was not skilled. As I mentioned in yesterday's podcast, her limited skill was evident by the fact that she did not clearly comprehend the ordinance. She supported it confidently all the way until it was time to override the veto, and then she seemed to have had a problem. But what she showed more to me than anything else was that she was confused or that she was bought. Which one do you think it was? Could have been both. Those are some harsh words by Shanae Williams, although they ring true. I think Shanae Williams also wanted to be the majority leader, if you ask me. And quite understandably, I mean, she was more qualified. She conducts herself in a more professional manner. She articulates herself a lot better. And she represents what it means to be a professional elected official with integrity who conducts themselves in the appropriate manner as one should when conducting business in the city council chamber. However, I cannot say that Shanae Williams has done a whole lot more. And this is not to be negative. But the majority of the changes that I've seen in her district have been primarily on the waterfront, the developments that have gone up. Many of the people that lived in District 1 are moving out of state. Forget moving out of the area. Forget moving out of Yonkers. They're moving out of state. They can no longer afford to live in Yonkers. The rents are going up in the area. The homeless population is ever increasing. I took a bunch of photos earlier today as I was in Getty Square, and I'm going to be posting them. I just want to show people exactly how bad it's gotten. To drive around and see a man just sitting on the sidewalk, laid out, just because he chose that spot and he has nowhere else to go. It's saddening to me. She is not wrong. That said, Councilwoman Williams, Diaz Pineda, and City Council President Bellamy are all be used by the establishment for one reason. They are all disposable. It is a giant chess game. I heard a bombshell is coming. I cannot confirm what it is yet, but I have an idea. Well, there's going to be a lot of bombshells coming this year. I have a feeling that we will be seeing a lot of bombshells. Mike Breen's wife sold Spano the old mayor's house. She received double commission. She also works for the COI. More unethical behavior. Yeah, and there were rumors that she was going to be possibly running for Mike Breen's spot. However, I don't think that's going to happen. I truly believe Ron Matten will be the council representative for District 5. I want to play you now the city council president's her message, in this whole craziness of a meeting, the first meeting, and quite the eventful one it was.
Be the next majority leader.
Thank you, Councilwoman Diaz. I just wanted to add a few remarks myself. First, Happy New Year to all of my colleagues on the council and to those watching or listening in today. This, of course, is my first meeting and my new role, so I welcome the new change. I look forward to working with you all to do great things for the city of Yonkers, because that is why I was elected. As was said before, this is a historic moment because this is the first time we've had a city council president that was an African-American woman. So I stand here before you humbled and thanking you all who voted for me for that opportunity. And I take the role very seriously. I want to congratulate Councilwoman Tasha Diaz for her new role. And I let her know that I am here to support her in any way possible. I am giving you my full support and giving you God's grace, because that is what we ask of everyone, not holding the past against you, but moving forward to get things done. I saw your passion and I am inspired and impressed by that. So for those reasons, I will be supporting you today for your role as majority leader of the city council. And I ask that we all collaborate without regard to party in order to do great things for the city. And again, Happy New Year and all the best to you.
Yes, City Council President Lakeisha Collins Bellamy there wishing Tasha Diaz the best and saying that she looks forward to working with her in the coming years or whatever couple years that she has left, Tasha Diaz anyway. If you remember or recall from yesterday's video that I played, the interview that she did after the meeting with the Yonkers Voice, Tasha Diaz, first thing she said was that she was excited and happy to have received the blessing of the city council president. She said that she was not even considering throwing her hat in the ring until the city council president asked her why her name was not on the list, why she was not seeking the majority leader position. After thinking about what she said to herself, yeah, she's right. Why am I not throwing my hat into the ring? So she did. And she became the majority leader. What a story. That's like hitting the lotto. She wasn't even going to go for it. But a quick pep talk from the new city council president gave her the motivation to throw her hat into the race, as she said. And she won. And she got full support of the Republicans. In fact, it was actually members of our own party that disputed her appointment. Again, are you starting to see the plan here? Are you seeing it slowly unravel and unfold? Go back to the article written by Hezi about Mike Cater, from the letter from Ron Matten to the investigation with Liam to where we at today. It's all designed. It's not by accident. She didn't just say, oh, she gave me a pep talk. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I should be putting my hat in the race. I mean, again, why does she deserve to be majority leader? Shanae Williams brought up a good point. She is rarely in the conversation, although she has complained that she has not received a seat at the table. She has not brought any legislation forth, really, except some feel-good stuff, according to Shanae Williams. Well, that's true. She didn't bring anything in terms of the housing, which she helped shoot down, and she helped assure that it was not going to be increased. And what was her alternative to the ordinance that she did not like after so many months of liking it? So as majority leader, are we going to see a different Tasha Diaz? Do we really expect someone to be completely different from only a couple months ago? People don't change. That's what my mom always told me. And God dang it, she was right. People don't change. We can hope that they will do, and we can hope that they will. And you see the council, city council president said that we need to move forward and we cannot, we have to forgive the past. However, this is not a friendship. This is not a relationship between family members that has become strained. You are our elected officials. And if you have a history of going off in the city council chamber during meetings and cursing out people, threatening to assault people, we cannot forgive that and forget about that and elect a majority leader. We talk so much about women of color and just people of color in general. How do you want to be represented? As a person of color myself, that's not how I want to be represented. I'm going to be the first to say it. And I have to be the one to say it. Because if a white person said it, people would jump all over them, call him a racist. He's a racist. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the way we want to be represented as a people. Because again, we get judged by the actions of a few. I've experienced racism. I've experienced, police, arresting me for no reason, just because. And being pulled over, I've experienced all that. And I get treated the way someone would be treated if they were a criminal because I'm maybe a Puerto Rican like that person was. So we get painted all the same way. So we unfortunately, we have to go above and beyond. We have to work that much harder. It is very true. But once we get there and we get enough of us there, we can hopefully make it a little bit easier for others to get over that hump. But if we're going to conduct ourselves this way and we're going to allow people to manipulate us and have this infighting, we're never going to get true respect. We're not going to get the same, not going to have the same level of confidence that they would in other people. And that will limit others from being elected because they will say, well, is this person going to be rowdy too? And I applaud Shanae Williams, although I do critiques, or criticize some of the nothings that she's done, and as well as Corazon Pineda, just for even stepping up. Although I wonder, is that all part of the show? Is that part of the Yonkers City Council reality show? Is that their script? Are they the two opposers? The opposition, controlled opposition as it's called, to make it look good. Because again, actions speak louder than words. And if you truly mean what you say, I want to see it this year. And I'm going to hold you accountable because I'm going to remember everything you said. And I got it right here on Basement Politics, all recorded, saved in the cloud. And I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to say, remember on January 3rd, when you said this, it is now August and you haven't done nothing. And I will be saying it. I will be all over you. I will be all over you. And I hope everyone else is. I hope everyone else is. Leopards never change his spots. Absolutely. Plenty bombshells coming. First one is property tax increases. Yes. Brace yourself, folks. And guess who's responsible for that? Your friendly neighborhood elected officials. You voted them in, right? You wanted John Rubo back in. You wanted Corazon back in. You wanted to give the mayor a third term. And quite possibly a fourth one because some say that he may seek a fourth term. And judging by the people that are in city council, and I'm going to exclude a bit the new city council president because I have to be fair and give her an opportunity. I try to be fair and unbiased. So excluding the new city council president, the actions of the others doesn't give me much confidence that if that were the case, that they would be against it. I wouldn't be surprised if they're the ones that initiate it. And by golly, the mayor, what? Really? You guys want me for another fourth term? Oh my gosh. Let me think about it. Okay, I'll do it. Let's see what's going to happen. Or is it going to be Wilson Kimball? Are we going to forgive her pass also? What about James Kavanaugh? Are we going to forgive his pass and elect him mayor? No, we're not going to forgive the past. We're going to remember everything moving forward. Because if we want to improve the city of Yonkers, it starts at the top. But it also starts at the bottom. And we have to go out there and vote. And we have to reorganize the top. We do. And we do that by voting. It's time to get out and vote. Every single one of you. South side, north side, east side, west side. It doesn't matter. This year, there's some elections coming up. But next year, there will be the big elections coming up. And people need to come out and vote. And I'm going to be giving raffles and stuff for people who voted. You voted, you enter yourself into a chance to win something. I want people to go out and vote. I want people to get involved. And that's how we're going to create change. It's the only way we're going to create change. Only 20,000 voters come out to vote. We need to hold ourselves accountable for allowing the corruption to grow. 1,000%. 1,000%. We cannot continue to blame others, keep pointing fingers. Yes, we know that they are doing things that are unethical, immoral, and possibly illegal. But they can only get away with what we allow them to get away with. And we are living in a time now more than ever that we have to show our elected officials that you are not in control. We are. We vote you in. You work for us. I agree. And with Freddie telling us the raw truth, more will come out to vote. Oh, I'm going to be telling the truth. I'm going to be encouraging you to come out and vote. I'm going to be out there voting. I'm going to be out there involved as much as possible because I want to see change. I want to see good people get in there, people that truly want to see change. It's time for change. Change, change, change. We cannot continue the path we are headed on, or we will surely live to regret it. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Thank you for joining me again. I had a good viewing this live, so I appreciate more and more people are coming on. Thank you for sharing. If you've shared, continue to share, please. I need your help and support. The way we get the message out there is by sharing the podcast, sharing the information. Again, I don't make money off likes. I don't make money off share, not $1. So it's not about that. It's about bringing awareness. That's it. I'll let the other guys work for the money. This is personal in the sense that I do it because I care. So share, share, share. Continue to support me. Your support gives me strength, it encourages me, and it gives me confidence to continue speaking out about what's going on in real time, not 5 years from now, but in real time. So we can actually see what's going on and we can actually start to make a change and a difference here. We have to get our younger members of our society involved, the young folks, you 18, 19-year-olds, time to get involved in politics. We have to be more active in things that matter. Thank you again, folks. Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics Unfiltered. I may be on tomorrow. Depends. But either way, I'll be on sometime this week. But until then, I will miss you. I hope you'll miss me the same way. Thank you for joining me. Tune in for next episode. It will be just as good. Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics Unfiltered, Season 3. Please share. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
Let's get it popping.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
No!
Freddie wins. Fatality. Game over.